You may not know this, but there's an old legend that tells the story of a young girl who had a unique gift. She could make people laugh. This wasn't just a party trick or a hobby. It was a superpower that could light up a room and turn a bad day into a good one. People would come from all over to see her perform, hanging on every word and every gesture. And as she grew older, her legend only grew. This is the story of the one and only Aretha Franklin, the Queen of Soul. Welcome to our channel, the place where future billionaires come to get inspired. Aretha Louise Franklin was born on March 25, 1942, in Memphis, Tennessee. Her father was a Baptist minister and civil rights activist, while her mother was a singer and pianist. Growing up, Aretha was surrounded by gospel music and the rhythms of the church. From the age of 6, she began singing in the church choir, her powerful voice echoing through the sanctuary. At 12, she recorded her first song, Jesus, He Knows Me. And by 14, she was touring with her father's group, the Southern All-Stars, honing her skills and captivating audiences across the South. After graduating from high school in 1960, Aretha moved to Cincinnati to pursue a career in music. She worked as a backup singer for a local band, gaining valuable experience and making connections that would help her rise to stardom. But it was in Detroit that Aretha's career took off. In 1963, she signed with Chess Records and released her first album, Aretha with the Ray Bryant Combo. It was followed by several more albums, including the electrifying Aretha Franklin, which featured the hit single, Rock Steady. These albums showcased her incredible vocal talent and established her as a force to be reckoned with in the music industry. But Aretha wasn't satisfied. She wanted more. She wanted to connect with her audience on a deeper level, and so she turned to the music that had been the soundtrack of her life, gospel. In 1967, Aretha released I Never Loved a Man the Way I Love You. The album was different. It was raw, it was real, and it was deeply personal. The title track became an instant hit, topping the charts and capturing the hearts of millions. It was Aretha's breakthrough moment, the moment when she went from being just a talented singer to becoming the Queen of Soul. Over the next decade, Aretha released a string of hit albums, including Aretha Arrives, Soul 69, This Girl's in Love and Other Songs, and Amazing Grace. These albums cemented her status as a music icon, and she became known for her electrifying live performances. Whether she was singing Respect, Think, Chain of Fools, or I Say a Little Prayer, Aretha's voice resonated with audiences around the world. It was a voice that spoke to the struggles and triumphs of everyday people, and it became the soundtrack of the civil rights movement. During the height of her career, Aretha found herself at the center of the music world. She was nominated for Grammy Awards, appeared on television variety shows, and performed for presidents. She became a role model for women everywhere, proving that they could break barriers and achieve their dreams. But behind the glitz and glamour of the music industry, Aretha was struggling. She had always been outspoken about social and political issues, and now she was paying the price. In 1975, she was booed off stage in Los Angeles after performing Amazing Grace. The audience didn't like the gospel version of the song, and Aretha walked off stage in tears. It was a low point in her career, but it was just the beginning of her troubles. In the years that followed, Aretha's personal life began to unravel. She struggled with addiction and weight gain, and her relationships began to fall apart. She was once arrested for drunk driving, and she checked into rehab several times. It was during one of these stints in rehab that Aretha met her fourth husband, a music executive named Nick Collins. Collins helped her get her life back on track, and she made a comeback in the early 1980s with the hit single How Do You Keep the Music Playing. The song was featured in the movie The Best Little Whorehouse in Texas, and it became one of Aretha's signature songs. Throughout the 1980s and 90s, Aretha continued to perform and record music. She also became a prominent activist, using her voice to speak out against racism and sexism. In 1987, she performed The Star-Spangled Banner at the Super Bowl, and in 1998, she was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. But it was in 2005 that Aretha had another breakthrough moment. She was asked to perform at the funeral of a civil rights leader, the Reverend Martin Luther King Jr. Aretha had never met King, but she knew his work and she knew his dream. And so she sang, "Precious Lord, Take My Hand," a gospel standard that became an anthem of the civil rights movement. The performance was Aretha's tribute to King and to the struggle for equality, and it was one of the most powerful moments of her career. Aretha continued to perform and record music until her death in 2018. She left behind a legacy of music that inspired generations of artists and fans. Now let's take a look at some of Aretha Franklin's most inspiring quotes. "If you can't do anything about the situation, then why worry about it? Sometimes we have to learn how to let go and trust that everything will work out in the end." Aretha understood this well. Even in the toughest of times, she never lost hope. Instead, she channeled her experiences into her music, turning pain into power and sorrow into soul. "I took all the experiences in my life and put them into my music. That's what it's all about for me, sharing experiences. I never thought about being a star. I just wanted to share my experiences." This quote shows Aretha's humility and authenticity. She wasn't in it for the fame or fortune. She simply wanted to share her story through her music. This is a lesson for all of us. Whatever our goals are, we should pursue them with authenticity and humility. One of the greatest challenges we face in life is staying true to ourselves in the face of adversity. When you're successful, everyone wants to be your friend. But when you're down on your luck, it can be hard to find anyone who cares. But Aretha knew that true friends don't abandon you when times get tough. They stick by your side and support you no matter what. So if you want to be a true friend, remember Aretha's words. Don't abandon people when times get tough. Stick by their side and show them that you care. As a child, Aretha dreamed of being a performer. She would put on shows for her family and friends, belting out tunes and dancing in the spotlight. But as she grew older, she started to doubt herself. She worried that she wasn't good enough or that she would never make it big. But Aretha's mother saw her daughter's potential and encouraged her to pursue her dreams. She told her, "You're talented, just believe in yourself." And those words became Aretha's mantra. Whenever she doubted herself, she would repeat them like a mantra. She knew that in order to succeed, she needed to believe in herself. This is a lesson for all of us. Don't let self-doubt hold you back. Believe in yourself and your abilities, even when others don't. With hard work and determination, you can achieve your dreams. It's not always easy to keep going when things get tough. There will be times in your life when you feel like giving up. But Aretha's story teaches us that we should never give up on our dreams. No matter how difficult things get, we should keep trying and never lose hope. So remember the story of the Queen of Soul, the one and only Aretha Franklin, and let her story inspire you to never give up on your dreams. Thank you for watching this episode. If you want to learn about other legendary people, stay tuned.